Folding phones are helping change the way we think about our mobile devices. Beyond just incredible feats of technology, they're augmenting the way we live, work, and play. Joining us today is Nils Dahl of Samsung, who's going to help talk to us a little more about this incredible new era of smartphone and talk about how they can make a difference in people's lives. Thank you for joining us today, Nils.
Thanks for having me, George. Excited to talk about foldables.
So let's get right to it. Beyond just wow factor, these are amazing looking phones. How are you seeing people using them in different ways?
Yeah, so the foldable form factor for us, it's all been about creating more easy and productive and efficient use cases in people's lives. One of the ways we've seen that, and we can't even predict it until it's out in the market in people's hands, is how people are using the camera. So probably half the photos in people's photo roll are selfies these days, right? You hold it out at arm's length and you take that photo, but you're kind of usually settling for that 10, 12 megapixel range front-facing camera. So it's a good picture, it's not the best. But with the flip, you don't even have to open it up. You hold it at arm's length and you're making use of the 50 megapixel main camera and you're using the cover screen on the front to frame up your group shot.
And you never have to call on the waiter or waitress to come take your photo.
You don't have that awkward experience.
Yep.
Another one is, we all remember the days when we were taking home videos with the camcorder, going around the house.
I remember back when we had the backpack, the side pack.
Well, this is even easier. Hold on. Take out the phone. We see them doing this kind of half open with the flip, and they hold it just like a camcorder, just like they used to, taking the videos at the party of the kids, whatever. And it's got this really nostalgic feeling that we see people really get gravitating towards and being attracted to. I think the last one, when it comes to the camera in kind of some unexpected ways, is you might not see it at first, but there's a built-in tripod here. So you can set it up on your counter or a shelf or a park bench or something and get everybody in the frame.
And you still have another camera on the other side if you want to do a traditional selfie.
Of course, still have the camera. You can still open it up and do the old-fashioned full out, or you can do the close and take that really high quality 50 megapixel selfie.
Fantastic.
A couple other ones in terms of some unique creative ways people are using their devices or really embracing them is the pure practicality of a foldable form factor, the pocketability of the devices. Take the flip, for example. When it's open, it's just like a bar phone. Not everyone is on board yet with a 6.7, 6.8 inch display, in their pocket. Jeans aren't made for bigger phones. Bigger phones are made, and then eventually jeans might catch up, but we're not quite there yet. And even when we are, not everyone wants that, because the thought of a 6.8 inch phone a decade ago was unthinkable.
They were phablets.
Exactly, phablets, PH.
Yeah.
Now, you've got it closed up. It's the size that phones used to be. It fits in your pocket better, it fits in your purse better, but you still get that full bar type, phablet type display when you want it. So people are really embracing that. And when it comes to the fold, a true phablet form factor when it's open, I'm a big guy, but I still can't use this with one hand. But when it's closed up and I'm bouncing around the house, handling the kids, cooking dinner, I can still really easily use my phone with one hand, no problem. That's just this inherent kind of wow factor that you don't expect when you dive into your first foldable. Maybe the last one I'll mention on design is the pure practicality of having this main display protected whenever it's closed, right? So if you're working around the house on projects, it's bouncing around in your bag, your main display is inherently protected when the phone's closed, completely protected. That's actually why my dad's on his second flip, because he does so many projects around the boat and around the house that he doesn't want to have to worry about banging his leg or his bag into something and having that display crack.
I love when I get an email from my boss and they're like, can you check this doc? Is this correct? Have you proofread it? I can just open it up. I'm using the front screen to get my emails, open it up, and actually can open up docs and be able to interact like you would on a computer or on a tablet.
Absolutely. And then the other cool thing too is we see people feeling like they're part of something when they have a fold. They're at the bleeding edge of technology. I'll give an example. My home team here in New Jersey is the 49ers. So they're out of market. I can't always watch them, but I still like to go to the bar and watch games and have the atmosphere, be with friends and everything. So what I do is I'll go to the bar, they've got the local games on, but I can pop open my fold, sit it on the table, watch a full screen game of my Niners on Sunday ticket out of market, still get that. And you see people kind of glancing over, what do you got there?
So for me, it's when my child takes over the TV. And I can watch professional wrestling on the phone, just on the side of the couch, just watching there, put my earbuds in.
Throw your earbuds in?
Yep, throw my Galaxy Buds in, and
go.
I'm good to go. Can you give some examples of how people are using this to enhance their productivity, to inspire creativity, how they're using it to just make their lives better?
Yeah, so when it comes to productivity, like that's where the Fold really shines. You've got this, full tablet form factor that fits in your pocket. So we've had multi-window around for a while where you can run multiple apps on the screen at once, but it was a diminished experience because you're running a half-size app. With the Fold, you can have 2 full-size apps right next to each other, even up to 3 apps, and you can actually get stuff done because the screen real estate allows for it. I've always been a little hesitant to really go into some deep work and productivity when I'm away from my desk and away from my PC. You've got dozens of emails and people are sending you spreadsheets and PowerPoints, and it's like, how much work can you really get done? But I found with the Fold, like I can truly be productive when I'm away from my desk. I can get through 100 emails. I can make edits to Excel spreadsheets. I can view the details in PowerPoints, and it's great. And still, we're the only ones who have an S Pen-like experience integrated into the main display.
Samsung's always done a very good job of creating phones that work very well with their PC program so that you use DeX or something to actually be able to move between desktop and phone interchangeably. That still works perfectly with this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, say you're showing up to a remote workplace and you've got a monitor and a keyboard maybe, but you don't have your PC with you. You can still plug this into the monitor and run a full desktop-like experience on that monitor through your phone using DeX. You can even use the display as a trackpad. When it comes to creativity, that's where the Flip really shines. We talked about some of the camera features, the built-in tripod, the front-facing display. A unique feature that we have, we call it FlexCam. So if you're taking that selfie with your group and say you're at the Eiffel Tower or something like that, FlexCam will actually automatically zoom and frame your group as well as the Eiffel Tower, whatever's in the background, and it'll frame everything up perfectly, even if you don't have your phone perfectly oriented. And FlexCam takes that perfect shot.
Does it move the frame around? How does that actually work?
Yeah, so because we have the 50 megapixel, wide camera that we're using, it's taking a really high definition wide photo, and then it's almost cropping it down and zooming to get just what it needs to perfectly frame up your group and the background and the attraction that you're at. After you take the photo, we've got this really cool AI feature that we call generative edit. Say the Eiffel Tower is crooked, or say the Leaning Tower of Pisa isn't leaning enough. You can grab that attraction or whatever, or put your dog who's in the way, move them out of the way, straighten things out, move people around a little bit if you need to, just to make that shot perfect.
We don't actually want to go and fix the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right?
Well, that might be up for debate, but not in the context of this discussion.
From your perspective, what are the biggest misconceptions people have about folding phones? I know there is, it's very new technology. People are still a little apprehensive of moving away from their, candy bar style phone. What would you say to those people who are like, I just don't know yet?
Yeah, so I think you hit on one of the main misconceptions, new technology. We're in the 6th generation of foldables. So we've been at this for a little while, and we are continuing to innovate and drive primarily the durability of our devices. So people are still concerned about the durability, and that's a fair concern if you're not familiar with the advancements we've made and how long these devices have been around. So we've completely redesigned the hinge over the past few years to make it stronger and more durable. Before any of these devices hits market in the lab, we're opening and closing them 200,000 times.
I've seen the folding test.
Yeah,
It's
you've seen the
crazy.
fold. Yeah. So you're taking these out of your pocket, you're opening them, you're spending big bucks on these phones. You might have them for a few years. We want to make sure that they can stand up to the test of time. And when you look at even the premium materials that we're using on like our S series, latest generation of Gorilla Glass, Armor aluminum, all those latest and greatest materials are also built into these devices to ensure that durability is not a concern. Another one is bulkiness. I mean, we've got them right here. We can hold them in our hands. I would challenge anyone who thinks that a foldable is bulky, go in and hold it for yourself and see. These devices are seriously thin and light. It's the opposite of bulky. So bulkiness is another huge misconception that we've seen. Maybe the last one I'll mention is group texting. Used to be true, if your friends didn't have an Android phone, maybe those images wouldn't come through or your group text would be a little messed up. With RCS now supported, no longer a concern.
Team Green Bubble.
Team Green Bubble, that's right.
I always say that a new technology will hit critical mass when either my mother or my sister has one. And to my surprise, my sister came to the holidays last year sporting her, I think it was the Z Flip 5 at the time, but she had it, she loved it. And again, there was no weirdness about new technology, no weirdness about how this is different than anything else. She just loved her new phone.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's the paradigm shift for people moving to foldables. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Absolutely. I mean, the data that we see most recently on the 6th generation, the Z Flip 6 and the Z Fold 6, 98% of people who buy a Z Flip 6 are likely to stay with a foldable. 96% who buy a Fold are likely to stay with foldable. So if you buy a Fold, like, warning, you'll be hooked. I was speaking actually with a colleague at Verizon just a little over a year ago. It was right after the Fold 5 came out. And I say, hey, how are you liking your new Fold 5? He said, I'll never go back. I'm hooked. And he said, and it's a hashtag in my mind now, I have to use it at some point on LinkedIn or something, but hashtag Fold for life. He said, I am Fold for life.
So looking into the future, where do you see foldable technology heading?
We introduced a slew of new AI features on our S24, which we brought into our Flip and Fold 6. But what we're trying to do with AI from a foldable standpoint is elevate that experience. Foldables can take these AI features, and because of the multiple screens that they provide, the bigger display, the more real estate, you can actually elevate that AI experience and get more done at once. Like, one example would be Note Assist. When you have your Fold open on one side of the display, you can be recording your meeting and have live notes coming in, being transcribed, and you can be taking notes on the side with your S Pen. And then at the end, using Note Assist and AI, you can immediately transcribe and summarize all of those meeting notes into one and still maintain on the larger screen display all the notes that you took on the meeting and see how everything matches up. So we're really looking at AI as an area of opportunity for our foldable devices to elevate what we're providing in the market on our S series devices and bring AI truly to the next level with Flip and Fold.
What AI feature are you most excited about?
What am I most excited about? You know, for me, I like the AI party tricks. You know, I like on Fold, we have sketch to image. You can I'm not the best artist, but I can draw a nice wave and a lighthouse and a beach, and it just creates this masterful watercolor piece of artwork that I can share with my family and friends.
Any final thoughts?
I would say, you know, maybe the one thing is give foldables a try. You will be hooked. Like we said, you know, 98% of Flip users are likely to buy another Fold, 96% of Fold users likely to buy another Fold. It's Fold for life. If you give these a try, you will be hooked. And know, again, that there's no compromises when it comes to these devices.
Thank you very much for joining me today, Nils.
Thanks for having me, George. It was good to talk foldables.
If you would like more information about the Galaxy Z Fold series or any other Samsung phones, or if you just want to put them in your hands and feel what a folding phone is actually like, go to your local Verizon store today or visit Verizon.com for more information.